Alright, here we are at a new construction, and as we apply the product, you're going to see the regular insulation has already been applied in the walls, and we come in after it is applied in the walls. And what we do is take the product, we use staple hammers, and we come and cover over all the insulation that goes into the garage area. And then we just work all the way across the area. All the outside wall areas through the first floor. And as we just kind of scan the house, we go into rooms where all the outside walls are done, and then any ceiling that goes up into an attic area, this is from the first floor, we cover all the ceilings, stapling the material to the ceilings all the way through the house. And we take each section, they're 4-foot rolls, and we do the ceilings first and then the walls. You're also going to notice on the floors you see the red circles. We do that prior to installing the material. All the red dots on the floor, we know that there is actually an outlet, and we don't do any of the walls that go into any non exterior unless the customer wants to. And as we progress into the other areas of the house, you'll see the floors, all the piping, we cut around all the piping, and then just work our way all the way up and do the ceiling throughout the first floor. Usually we do the first floor first and then just work our way up to the upstairs. This is a 2-story house, as you saw when we walked up through. We come into a big living area, and this is a huge cathedral ceiling. So what you're going to see is we do the wall, and then we come all the way up and do the cathedral ceiling. And this homeowner is going to be very pleased that we did the ceiling, and we just butted up to the ceiling of the second floor, and then you're going to see we just kind of take it across the second story, and then we start just pulling it all the way through, and you're going to see there's a bullet-nosed ceiling up top, and we do that whole bullet nose. That's more an entry area of the house, and we come all the way through, do the whole ceiling area all the way back. This wall that you see right here is actually a wall that goes into an attic area, so we cover that as well. So anything from the interior, where your air conditioning and heating, that goes to an attic or an exterior or a ceiling, we totally cover it. This here is the back area of the home, and there we do all the walls of the exterior of the house. You're also going to see from doing the walls, there are, again, from the downstairs point of view, there are areas up above that's just an attic area that you really can't access. So from the bottom floor, we actually cover the ceiling, and then they're going to sheetrock right over it. And then as we progress upstairs, you're going to see This customer here is actually sheetrock, or not sheetrock, but insulated in between rooms, more for a sound deadener. And we cut around. There's an intake for the air condition, little can lights, outlets for fans. We come through here, and now we're on the second floor, so we're actually covering all the ceiling areas, doing all your walls. And again, you look at the floor, we see all the red dots and lines on the floor, so we know where all the outlets are. And it's just totally covered. And as we walk out here, you're going to see the very large cathedral ceiling area for the living space. As you just progress into these other rooms, you're going to see how we apply the product. As you're going to see on these little vaulted ceilings, where it's a little vault where it's raising an 8-foot wall to a 10-foot ceiling, we're going to do the cathedral ceiling by itself, because as they sheetrock the house, they're going to do in different sections. They're going to put a piece of sheetrock on the cathedral aspect, and then they're also going to put it on the ceiling. So we do each separate piece by themselves. And you can see the exterior wall. It's a little bit dark because the light's coming through here, and the ceiling. But as he progresses through, he's kind of lining the product up so it'll just be straight for when they sheetrock. And we'll come back there so you can kind of see how he applies it. And then in through here, you're going to see this is where they've already done a little vaulted ceiling, and now we're applying it separately in the ceiling area for when they sheetrock, the material doesn't rip off, where it's just separate pieces. And it's very basic, just using step ladders. The one downstairs we needed scaffolding, but the staple hammers work very well. As you're going to see here, we use fillet knives to cut the material. And as he progresses through, once he lines the material up on an edge, then he can kind of progress through the ceiling and apply the product. And we just try to get it as flat and straight as possible. Even though it doesn't, when they sheetrock, it doesn't matter. But a lot of the customers, when you look at it, it's more a cosmetic, where they see it just looks like a piece of sheet metal up on the ceiling. And as we kind of progress back through here, he's aligned the material, and now we're trying to get it set for the product where it's aligned up correctly. And then he'll just kind of go all the way through here and get it set. And then just get the pieces there, so when they sheetrock, they're ready to go. And then he'll just progress all the way through the wall, kind of flatten it, make it look real nice. And we try to take as much of the wrinkles out of the product as possible, because it is more for the customer. It's not going to do anything for the performance of the product, but it's more cosmetic again for the customer. And we'll just kind of go one more time so you can kind of see Because again, as you apply the product, you're just going in sections. And then just lining it up real nice. And that's really what we do for new construction. And then we kind of go through, so we just make sure everything's cleaned up, pile it all, so by the time we leave, there's no sign that we've been here except for just seeing the material on the ceiling area. And that's how we do new construction.